Best general manager in all of esports. Oh, I don't even know who'd actually give the title to. I genuinely don't know who'd give the title to. Might actually be, might be Arnold. Actually, I think it might actually be Arnold. It might actually be Arnold. Yeah, it's actually probably Arnold. He's the COO GM essentially because he's the one that decides on players, to my knowledge, or he's the one that like pursues the big names and makes like the really big decisions because Arnold is heavily involved with Gen G LOL. It might be Arnold. Yeah. At least in League of Legends, I mean. Okay, so Team Heretics have lost all of their inhibitors. Arnold from Gen G or Steve from TL? No, you can't say Steve. You can't. I think that you can't say Steve. I think Steve's heart is in the right place, always. I think his heart is always in the right place. The problem is Steve doesn't know enough about the game to discern when he's being misled or when people are giving him, like, bad information. And so Steve has, like, consistently made poor rosters. Steve's heart is always in the right place, and I think that Steve always means well. But I think it's actually Arnold. I really do think it's Arnold. Okay. That was a fucking stomp. Koi just played a lot better. I really thought that Team Heretics would be able to win because of the draft. But, yeah, I don't know. Also, Sagenda playing really well. Sagenda is actually one of the best performing top laners in LEC this year. Okay. How did I meet Arnold? How did I meet Arnold? Arnold in 2020 started showing up in my chat. Arnold started showing up in my chat, and he would give subs, and he would give bits, and he would ask me about stuff in the game, and then he actually started DMing me for Gen G, asking questions that he was gonna like relay to Gen G. And then when Arnold wanted, so when I was joining T1, there was a bidding war, or there was a lot of teams that were trying to get me to join as a co-streamer and stuff. And Arnold actually wanted me to join Gen G, according to Joe Marsh. And anyways, I joined T1, and then basically I wanted. So there was a genuine discussion. So when I was potentially joining T1, like when I was potentially going to be the strategic coach, there was a conversation that I had with Joe Marsh in October. And the conversation with Joe Marsh was that I wanted Nemesis to join T1 as like a assistant coach in some way, right? To like just help me with like general stuff, right? Like play champions, help facilitate like conversations and like all this other stuff, right? So there was a conversation that I had with Joe Marsh about Nemesis joining T1. And that conversation took place and happened. But then it was decided that there was already too much heat around me joining, and so bringing on another non-Korean would probably not be feasible. Then we were going to maybe have Nemesis join as a streamer with me on T1. And so Nemesis and Crowny were supposed to both fly out to South Korea now that there was the COVID restrictions. So in order to fly to South Korea, Slovenia apparently needed a proper visa or something like that, or we weren't entirely sure. And the thing is that some of the upper staff members of T1 were in Korea for 1 week. And what we needed was Nemesis and Crowny to fly out and actually meet Joe Marsh, John Kim, and one of the other high-ups in T1, if that was maybe going to be a possibility. But then Crowny ended up contracting COVID because I think his mom got it from the hospital. So because Crowny contracted COVID the day before they were going to fly, Nemesis decided not to fly out to South Korea because he didn't want to fly out to South Korea alone, because it was going to be like the first time that he was going to do a really big travel. Me and Nemesis actually got into a really big argument on the phone because I was pushing really hard to try to get him to join as a T1 content creator. So, I had really vouched for Nemesis to T1. I had lots of conversations with John Kim, and there was a really strict window on Nemesis getting to Korea to meet the high-ups at T1. I was going to arrange the meeting. Okay, so it didn't happen. So Then, because that didn't happen, now Nemesis wasn't going to have a visa to South Korea. So, because Nemesis wasn't going to have a visa, and Crownie still wanted to come, but Crownie was sick with COVID, and the way that COVID was that you needed to test negative in order to be able to fly. So now we were thinking that Crownie wasn't going to be able to test negative for at least 4 weeks on whatever fucking test that he needed because of the COVID restrictions. This is the end of 2020. Okay, so because of this, we're now thinking that Nemesis and Crownie aren't going to be able to come until January. And so now this is going to be after the holidays. So this really threw a complete fucking like curveball to all the plans that we had. Okay. So then I had the idea that what if, because I had made Nemesis a ton of promises that I would give him tons of raids, I would, help him grow his stream, we'd do YouTube content and like all this other stuff if he came to Korea and if he ended up like leaving Fnatic, because he was contemplating staying on Fnatic as a streamer, because Nemesis at the time was like a 1,000 viewer streamer when he wasn't streaming during the Fnatic splits, in which case he would have like 2,000-3,000 viewers. Nemesis was like 1K or sub, like 1K sub, like what, like 800 to 1K viewers. Okay. So we were having all these conversations. So I got the idea to call up Arnold and ask Arnold if he would hire Nemesis and Crownie. And my pitch to Arnold was that I told Arnold that we would have a content house. It would be like T1 Gen G, like rivalry house, and he would hire Crownie and Nemesis. And Arnold thought that it was a really good idea. And so Arnold decided that he would actually sign both Nemesis and Crownie so that he could get them both visas. Okay? So that was the discussion. So I had a lot of talks with Arnold about hiring Nemesis and Crownie. Okay? So Arnold said okay to that. Okay. So then we went through all of this, and Nemesis was going to join Gen G, and Crownie was going to join Gen G. Okay. So then the visa stuff happened, okay? So Nemesis had to send in his passport and his visa and everything. 6 weeks ended up passing, or something like that. Some abnormally long amount of time ended up passing, and there was actually a conversation on Kakao where Arnold said that it probably wasn't worth it to just keep going with Nemesis. And it seemed like Nemesis wasn't actually interested in joining Gen G because I kept asking Nemesis what's going on with his passport, and he said he didn't know that it was in the mail. Crownie had received his passport and gotten his visa already. So Arnold was just actually going to, I think, break away from the Nemesis contract and bring out Crownie only, and said that they could revisit Nemesis later. So at that point, it was only going to end up being Crownie coming out. So I got really pissed. So I called the Slovenian post office, and I was the one that asked, where is this passport? Now, I had Nemesis's information. I had his address and everything like that. So I called the post office because I got really pissed because Nemesis wasn't doing it. And I was getting really mad because we had all these like content plans. The splits were already underway. Crownie already had his visa, etc. So I got really pissed, and I didn't want Arnold to cut him from Gen G. So we ended up realizing that the post office lost his passport. So now Nemesis had to go and get a new passport. And then in addition to getting a new passport, now they had to do the Korean consulate thing again. So the Korean consulate they were going to have to restart the entire process. So now I think I was working with Jeannie Kim, I think is her name. I was working with Jeannie Kim, and I called the Korean consulate on behalf of Nemesis with Jeannie. And I ended up trying to explain to the person that I talked to what ended up happening, and that the post office had lost the thing. And I was saying that, is there any way to not restart the process? Okay. So I was trying to make it so that Nemesis was not going to have everything get delayed again by over a month or like longer. So I called the Korean consulate, and we had this whole thing happen. Nemesis ended up finally being able to come to Korea, in around like spring, right? So that finally ended up happening. He had to go through quarantine. But when Nemesis decided to come to Korea, Crownie ended up deciding not to come to Korea because he got an offer from, what was it? He got an offer from, what team was it? Was it Vitality? Was it Vitality? It was Vitality, right? Wait. Yeah, it was Vitality. Yes. Crowny got an offer from Vitality, and Crowny decided that streaming wasn't for him because all the streams that he was doing, he wasn't having a lot of fun. He felt like he couldn't be a streamer. He felt like he couldn't be a content creator. Now, during this time, you guys might also remember that Nemesis was too young, I believe, to join the co-streams, right? Because Nemesis turned of age that year, I believe, right? Nemesis turned of age that year, I think. Or like what was going on? So we're doing all the co-streams, we're doing the live viewings, we're doing the LEC live viewings, right? We have the stuff with like Tuv. I asked Tuv to come out. Tuv ends up arriving on like May 1st or something like that. Okay. So this is all going on. So anyways, finally, Nemesis gets his passport. He gets his new passport. He gets his visa. We get him out to Korea. Arnold does not end up terminating the Gen G contract with Nemesis, and it's fine. So now it's just going to be me and Nemesis. So when it was supposed to be me, Crowny, and Nemesis, I ended up getting a really large house because I thought it was going to be me, Crowny, and Nemesis. We were going to use the living room for like content and stuff like that. Now, in order to end up getting the house, I also had to go and I had to get a business license in South Korea because in order to occupy the house that we had, it was it's not a residential housing. It's like in order to occupy that house, as a non-Korean, I need a certain visa type. And then 2, I actually needed a certain business license in order to operate that house. So I had to pay a fee in order to make a business. So this was a lot of money. Now, the cost on this was supposed to be split 3 ways between all of us. In the end, obviously, Crowny didn't end up coming. And so the cost should be split between me and Nemesis. But because, Nemesis ended up leaving the apartment at the end of December when Cloud9 ended up coming, and me and Nemesis ended up not talking to each other anymore, etc. I ended up absorbing the majority of that cost because I have to stay in the house for an additional year because I can't break the contract, and I ended up getting fucked for an entire year on the house. But that's sort of like whatever, because there's a lot of other stuff going on. So Nemesis comes out to Korea. Okay. His streams are popping the fuck off. Okay. Nemesis had like 16K viewers or something, or like 15K or 16K or something. I think he actually almost got 20K viewers because he was fresh off of rank 1 on EU West. Okay. So he was fresh off of rank 1 on EU West. At this point, I'm living in Suwon because I'm waiting to be able to move into the new apartment because the new apartment was not able to be moved into until the end of April was when we would be eligible to move into the new apartment. Nemesis goes through quarantine. We go and get Nemesis. We bring him back to Suwon. Me and Phil end up going and getting Nemesis. The video is like on YouTube, all that good stuff. Okay. But during this time period, Nemesis started streaming Korean solo queue. He started climbing, and he was having absurd viewership. Now, the other thing that we were trying to do for Nemesis during this time period that a lot of people might remember, or they might not remember, is that in order to get premium partnership, Twitch doesn't give out premium partner anymore, you need to have 500 tier 1 credit card subs, not Twitch Prime subs. Okay, so one of the things that I was also doing during this time period is every single stream and also on my Discord, there's messages, I was trying to push all of my credit card subscribers to unsubscribe to me and subscribe to Nemesis because he had to hold 500 credit card subscribers for 3 months straight. And if you hold 500 credit card subscribers for 3 months straight, you can get bumped to premium partner. Now, being a premium partner is a really big deal for a content creator because you get a 70-30 split. And in addition to a 70-30 split, you get higher ad revenue. So in addition to that, you also receive more percent from B tier and C tier countries when they subscribe to you. And this is like Twitch's own thing and stuff. So I was trying to funnel a lot of subs to him and it actually worked. I ended up going from something like 1,900 credit card subscribers, and I actually dropped to 1,300. And I had all my analytics tracked and everything like that. So literally, probably like 600, or maybe not 600, maybe like literally 500, 600, which is not what he needed because he actually had like 200. Ended up moving from my channel to Nemesis's. And this, we can know that this is actually the case because I have all my analytics tracked month to month. I have all of my numbers, etc. That was the first time the number ever went below 1850, for like 6 months in a row or something like that. And so I was really, really, grateful to all of my subs that did that. And we helped get Nemesis premium partner, on Twitch. So that way he could earn a lot more money. So Nemesis was streaming, and we moved into the house in May, and Tuv came out, and we were doing all that stuff, and we were doing the live viewings, and we were doing all that good stuff, right? And Crowny's not there, and we're streaming, and we start League Nightmares at some point, and we're doing all the stuff with Gen G, and Nemesis is like coming with me when I have to talk to like T1 and stuff, because T1 asked me to talk to some of the players sometimes, and so there was like a meeting that actually took place between me, Nemesis, and Faker, because what ended up happening is you guys remember Danny's musical chairs. So Danny's musical chairs, what ended up happening is all of the T1 upper management thought something wasn't right. And they asked me to talk to Faker because me and Faker always got along really well when talking about VODs and what was going on in the game. So when they asked me to go talk to Faker, Nemesis accompanied me to T1 on that day. And while we're waiting for Faker to come into the room, and there's the laptop and the computer set up and the translator and, John Kim and all this other stuff, Nemesis is in the room when Faker actually just walks in early. And what ends up happening is it's just said that Nemesis can stay for the meeting. So Nemesis is there for the whole conversation with me and Faker. And even Nemesis actually says some things to Faker during that meeting. And so me and Faker talk for hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. We go over a bunch of different VODs, what I think is going on that's wrong in their games. Faker's telling me what he thinks is going wrong and what do I think about what's going wrong with the gameplay and what the team's doing and the drafts and all this other stuff. And then the end conclusion is that, everything is relayed to John Kim. Because T1 is trying to get to the bottom of what is going on, and they felt like if they have me come in and talk to Faker, that I can actually tell what Faker's saying. I can tell if Faker's being really biased against maybe things that are happening inside of the game, or copium, or this type of stuff. But then I can give my perspective and see what Faker says about it, etc. And so this happens. Okay. So that meeting ended up happening, and yada yada yada, and then all of this great jazz is happening. And so me and Nemesis are doing all the streams and stuff. We're doing League Nightmares, and at this point in June, the schedule is very intense, and there's all this other stuff. Now I don't remember exactly when it was, but Arnold did a really amazing thing for Nemesis. Arnold did an absolutely amazing thing. There was some meeting where me and Nemesis ended up meeting with Arnold, and Arnold had bought both me and Nemesis gifts. He had given us both he bought us some Thermagun thing. Thermagun, I think, is the name of the thing that he bought us. And he bought it to both of us. And then he also informed us at this meeting that he was so proud of the content that we were doing and how successful Nemesis was doing on Twitch, and how Nemesis is really good at doing sponsorship activations and doing what's requested of him. Anytime Gen G asked him to do stuff, he was always on time, and he always did it, and he never really complained, which is really rare for content creators, whether you guys believe it or not. Usually content creators bitch, piss, and moan when orgs ask for retweets or story shares or all this other stuff. So Arnold said that he was really, really happy with Nemesis, and he was really glad that Nemesis was out here and, all this other stuff. He doubled Nemesis's salary. We were at some cafe in Hanamdong when this happened, and we're both sitting in a chair, and Arnold's across from us. So Arnold doubled Nemesis's salary on the spot and said that it would start effective from next month. This was a really big deal because Nemesis, again, he got his premium partnership. Now he just got a salary doubled from Gen G, and everything's just going super well, and we're doing the streams and everything like that. Now, in July, John Kim dies. Okay, I talked to John Kim 5 minutes before he died. Okay, it was one of the most disturbing things to me in the world, because John Kim, when the T1 stuff was happening to me, every day, John Kim, breakfast, lunch, and dinner with me. Every single day. Now, a lot of people don't know that John Kim, he was in psychology before becoming CEO of T1. So John Kim is literally trained in mental health and all this other type of stuff, and yada, yada, yada. John was coming over to my apartment. He was spending so much time with me. I would just hang out in John Kim's office. John Kim was literally a father figure to me during all of that time. Anytime I had problems or like stuff was going on, John Kim was always fucking there. John Kim was the one pushing for me to like, help T1 even during like in 2021. John Kim was literally, oh my fucking God. John Kim was literally like a fucking dad, and John Kim died. And I was talking to him literally minutes before he died. And that fucked me up. That fucked me up really bad. There were 3 deaths in my personal life that all happened really, really close to each other. All of them really close to each other, and the John one really, really, really fucked me up. So, this leads to my mental health collapse in summer, where you guys know that I disappear for a month. Draft starting. Fuck. Okay. Oh, okay. Anyways, this is like timeline stuff. Oh, okay. Story time's over, guys. Story time's over. All right. G2 versus SK. G2 versus SK. G2 versus SK. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's fine. You want me to talk more and not go over draft? Okay. Okay. Let's talk. All right. Okay. So a lot of deaths happened in a very, very short time span. I was getting very burnt out. I was getting very, very, very burnt out. While all of this is happening, I'm housing the Koreans, and I'm housing Crucial, and Nemesis is there, Tuv is there, Autumn is there, etc. The Koreans and Crucial are not getting along. Okay? Onion, prior to John Kim passing away, Onion has a really scary incident where Onion almost kills himself. You guys might remember this because I was live viewing LEC when Wind comes into the room and says, Kochinim, and then he says, Songju, and then I mute Mike, and Wind tells me that he thinks Onion's gonna kill himself. So I have to end the stream. Then we all go and look for Onion. Everyone goes outside and starts looking for Onion. Okay. Something happened in Onion's personal life that was extremely bad. And Onion ended up having to leave the house. Now, prior to Onion leaving the house, one of the things that was happening is Onion and Crucial were not getting along. And there was a really bad incident that happened where one day I'm streaming, and all of a sudden I hear this loud fucking bang. This absolutely massive fucking bang. And what it is Onion slammed the fuck out of his desk. Onion is huge. Onion is like 190 centimeters or something like that. And he's like 120 kilos. Okay? Onion is massive. And he yells at Crucial, leave me alone. Okay? So he gets really mad at Crucial. Then he starts yelling in both English and Korean. Okay? So I come out of the room. And at this point, I feel like I'm fucking like dad because everyone's arguing with each other. The Koreans are constantly complaining to me about other stuff. Dad. And the Koreans are complaining to me about random stuff. And so this stuff is going on. It's very, very tense. I don't want to leave my room every day. And there's like other stuff going on with like the house and stuff. So I start getting like my mental health in June starts collapsing. Then the stuff in July happens. Okay. So all of this is going on. Onion ends up leaving the house. When Onion leaves the house, Wind now feels alone because there's not another Korean for him to talk to in the living room. So what ends up happening is Wind starts permaplaying ARAM and PUBG. And Wind stops practicing. Now I'm wondering, why is Wind here if he's not going to be playing League of Legends? But then in addition to that, Wind is getting shit-faced drunk every single night. He's falling asleep. Sometimes, one time, he fell asleep completely naked. Dick out in the middle of the living room. Completely naked. Just drunk out of his mind. Fucking dick out, living room floor, completely drunk. Okay? I'm coming out into the living room, and it just smells like alcohol and there's this Korean like red what is it Dokboki. Smells like dokboki and alcohol in the living room every day. He's just getting drunk. And I feel really bad because Wind is suffering from depression at this point. And all he's doing is he's drinking and he's ordering out every single day, and he feels super bad. Now, the reason that Wind is staying with me is because reasons that I probably shouldn't talk about. But basically, the best thing for him to do is to stay with me. Okay? So, I feel really bad for Wind. So I start having to talk to Wind. And all of this is going on, and I'm having to like micromanage so many people in my day-to-day life, and I'm having to deal with like all of like the personal problems that they're going through, and I'm having to talk to them and stuff. And I'm streaming, and I'm trying to like do all this other stuff. And then me and Nemesis during this time period are also having like issues because I'm going through what I know now to be like autism, like I'm having like almost like autism fits. And I'm also getting super fucking depressed during this time period. So days that we're like supposed to film something for content or we're supposed to do something, I have no energy. And I just say that I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And what everyone would do with me is when I would get depressed or when I would get anxious or when I would get stressed, they would just ignore me or whatever. They would actually just say, leave him alone until he's fine. That would just be it. So no one's talking to me when I'm going through this stuff. So I'm in my room all day, and Tuv starts working in my room. So Tuv is in my room, and there's like a 1 week period or like a 2 week period where me and Nemesis aren't talking. And one day, like me and Nemesis are not talking so much that Tuv has to go to Nemesis's room and ask him about League Nightmares, and then come back to me and say, okay, we're just going to do League Nightmares. And me and Nemesis literally go from not talking for like 1 or 2 weeks to showing up and doing a League Nightmares episode at T1HQ. And then after that, we resume talking again. And a lot of it is just because I'm going through so much and I just don't want to talk to anyone. And I'm pissed off that no one wants to, like, everyone wants to tell me about their problems or they all want help. But anytime I'm like, I need to like vent or talk about things, or I'm just like, I'm in like a rut. I'm just like isolated and left alone. And then people just wait for it to like end. And that was the cycle that kept happening. And we could have lots of different conversations about like things that are going on during this. And I'm not easy to be around during this time because I'm extremely stressed. So while all of this is going on, we move into August and stuff like that. During August, I only stream like 63 hours that month. Okay. And Nemesis actually helps me stream that month because I have to hit my hours during that month. Or something. So Nemesis did guest streams on my channel because I just wasn't streaming a lot during that month. During that month, I was so stressed. I never wanted to be at the house. I didn't want to be around like everything going on at the house. I just did not want to be there. I did not want to be around like the smell. I did not want to be around like the conversations that I was having. So what ended up happening is during all of August, I was just basically out and going on like dates with people. And I did not want to be home. Yeah, the smell, the kitchen. The kitchen would smell a lot because there's so many people living together. The food gets left out on the counter, and the maid only comes, a few times, and whatever. So I'm going out on dates, and I'm like seeing people. I'm trying to like literally do nothing with League of Legends and stuff. And so during this time period, I'm just also not talking with people as much. Who won draft? God. Oh, story time is okay. Let's just end story time. Anyways, this fast forwards to like a bunch of other stories and like other stuff. But also, I'm going through so much that I almost quit League of Legends during that time period. And also, I leave Incheon. I end up moving to Daejeon to stay with my current boyfriend, who I'm still with to this day. I I ended up moving to Daejeon because my boyfriend was in his final semester at university. And then rather than doing a long distance relationship where we only see each other like once a month, I just decided that I would get an apartment right next to his university. And then, yeah. So that stuff is going on. Okay. So in September, there's also some really dark stuff which has never come out and been talked about. I talked to... God, this is so fucking dark. So dealing with all of the stress, the loneliness, the isolation, the depression, the fact that I felt completely alone and that everyone only wanted to associate with me, whether it was because I gave them money, a place to live, or because they could leech off of my brand, and dealing with the deaths in my personal life and everything else that was going on. There used to be an old mod named Mathkovich who was in the Netherlands. I asked him because I found out about someone that euthanized themselves from depression. So, during this time period of the end of August to September, I contacted 2 separate doctors from the Netherlands to look into assisted suicide. And I had a mod named Mathkovich because there was a girl that successfully achieved this. So, there was a girl that successfully achieved it from chronic depression. So, I tried to contact all my psychiatrists and psychologists from my childhood to prove very long, extended depression, anxiety, and all this other stuff. Because I was genuinely contemplating and desiring assisted suicide. And this is in September when I'm not streaming. So, this is all going on. I make a tweet on September 17th or September 19th or something that basically said that I have no friendships. Hold on, let me find it. LSXYZ. Let me find it. It's like, let's see. Oh, what the fuck is it called? LSXYZ 2021 September 17th Twitter. Let me see. Found it. Okay. Almost every relationship I have IRL is centered around either me being LS or me having money. These last few weeks were a solid confirmation of that. Got borderline scammed a few times and disregarded in serious moments. Serious moment is what I'm alluding to right now. This has been the reason for my severe inactivity. Okay. So, that was the September 17th tweet. So, that was the September 17th tweet. And I was talking to Joe Marsh a lot during this time period, and we were figuring everything else out, and, yeah. God, this type of a fucking story time, I think, is not for, like, an LEC live viewing, man. How did we even get on this topic? How are we even... Oh, God. God, dude. No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Timer's not correct. Let me set up timer, man. So much I want to talk about. This is what I was saying when I said that I was just going to do a tell-all recently and then fucking disappear. Because the last few years just... I talked about this with Dom yesterday. Hold on. Alright, let's get timer. It's fine. We'll just do it a separate stream. We'll just do a separate stream for this, guys. We'll just do a separate stream for this. I'll just do a proper separate stream where I talk about everything in chronological order and then, like, people can, like, hear what happened. We'll just do a separate stream. It's fine. There you go. You get a little bit of insight. We're only at 2021. We're only at 2021 September. We're not even done with September. Jesus fucking Christ. We're not even done with September. We got all of 2020, we got all of 2022 to go through. We got 2023. Holy. The juice. My God. Fucking insane to call it the juice. Thank you, Frost. We got insight in the Systems 9 incident. There's nothing. Look, I don't want to talk about C9 because I think it only negatively affects some people, right? And a lot of people have moved on. Revan's in a better place now. He's at TSM, right? Max is like shifting away from League. I think Max is doing his own thing. He's like learning a lot. He's growing a lot. Max is like doing other stuff now. Max has like a really good relationship. Max is just doing like a lot of really good stuff, right? Autumn's here. Summit's on like TL. Like there's like the C9 stuff. All I've ever said about C9 is that any time that misinformation or a lie comes out, I'll always just strike it down. I'll always just say like that's not accurate. But I've never talked about what happened. And also there was a reason that no journalist ever talked about what happened. I actually found out the other day. No, never mind. We'll save this for another stream. No, I don't talk to Nemesis. I haven't talked to Nemesis since... Okay, me and Nemesis have shared messages with each other. I messaged him, like, happy birthday last year on his birthday when I was inactive for, like, 2 months. And I talked to him in March 2022 because we finally got paid for League Nightmares because you guys know G4 went under. Or not G4 went under. G4 was having, like, issues with payments. So I finally got paid for League Nightmares, and so I gave Nemesis... I gave Nemesis actually too much on accident, because I fucking couldn't math. I paid Nemesis for League Nightmares. I paid Nemesis for League Nightmares, and then before that, my only message... we had a few messages in February after I left C9. But we haven't talked since, like, I want to say it's November 9th, 2021. Yeah. Scamming myself, actually, yeah. Oh, fuck. No, it's not that bad. It's not that big of a scam. Basically, I gave Nemesis 50% of what I got from G4, but what I didn't do is I didn't factor in that the editors and the producer have to be paid out first, and then the 50% is divided. So it's not massive, but it's still, Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm an idiot. I didn't subtract all of the expenses before doing the 50%. Yeah. I'm a fucking idiot. Shibai. It's fine. It's fine. We don't talk. I mean, he doesn't want to talk to me. I've made amends with like some people from the house back in that time period. Like I talked to Onion again. Onion was always actually really good to me. Onion was always really good to me. I felt really bad about what happened with Onion and the fact that he had to leave the house. He actually had to leave the house because of T1. Or well... John Kim said that it would probably be best for him to leave the house because Onion was going through a really serious thing. And so they told me that, Onion should leave the house. Onion's always been really good. Like, if I message Onion right now, he lives on the other side of Korea, and I told Onion that I'm, like, really depressed and I need him to come up and talk, he'd actually get on a train tomorrow. He's actually done that. He did that last year. He actually came up. Onion's really good to me. Now, I do have to ponder, is Onion really good to me because of, like, connections and, like, everything that I did, like, for him over the last, like, 5-6 years? Because you guys got to realize that Onion lived with me for, like, 5 years, like, rent and utility free. Well, no, not rent and utility free for 5 years. For 4 years, he lived, like, rent and... Oh, no. Actually, no. He was giving rent and utility at some point in 2021, but then... he had the issue happen, and he couldn't anymore. But yeah. Oh, shit. It gets really weird when you have to question every relationship that you have and like how transactional it is and everything. The other thing about this is that, yes, the other thing that you have to understand is that there's two sides to every story, right? People have to be cognizant of that. right? The way that I'm telling the story would be different the way that everyone else would tell the story. In fact, some people would say, there's more going on like my end. The thing for me is that I never delete records, chat logs, and all this other stuff. So most of what I'm saying, I'm fine to look up dates, timestamps, messages, group chats, like everything. I'm only comfortable saying what I know can actually be like proven or like have eyewitness testimony or like whatever. Maybe that's like the autism, the obsession with information and facts and details. And esports is a fucking stupid as shit place, and people like to lie and fabricate all the time. And it's fine. But yeah, that's something. But anyways, yeah, like me and Christelle are also fine. Me and Christelle had a really nice talk a couple of months ago. Christelle reached out to me. It had been a really long time. Me and Christelle are fine now. Me and Christelle were not fine for a very long time. But the other thing is that even though me and Christelle weren't fine, and even though we were really bad, and, everything, it never prevented me from saying that he was a good player and trying to push people to get coaching from him. Because I never want my personal dislike or distaste for certain individuals to prevent me from saying what I actually think about the person in terms of like their worth or their value or their character or like whatever, right? In that regard. Even if I really despise someone, I think if they have value or that they can provide value to people or if they're good to people, I feel like I'm always going to say that. Yeah, I mean, I push people to get coaching from Malice and stuff all the time too. I don't talk to Malice. Yeah, G2 is getting stomped, guys. All right, sorry. Thank you for joining the fucking G2 versus SK LEC live viewing podcast. Fucking G2 is actually just getting shit on. Tea time with fucking LS, dude. Jesus Christ. It's just a Trimby waiting room, guys. It's just a Trimby waiting room. Oh my god. My Lord Almighty. G2, yeah. They're down 2,000 gold. I would say that they have an interesting comp. If Kog'Maw gets to 4 items, they can win. Actually, no. If Kog'Maw gets to 3 items, they can win. If Kog gets to 3 items, they can win. The thing is Magic Resist is actually really valuable because there's Maokai, Kog'Maw, Braum, and Syndra. So Magic Resist is actually pretty valuable. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd actually like to see Azir I'd actually like to see Azir pick up an MR item. Not Banshees though, because there's Kog'Maw and Maokai saplings, and so there's too many ways to proc it, Zenwo, yeah, use the AC. No, we didn't play scrims today. I fell asleep and no one woke me up. Or like what happened is I woke up at 8:30. We were supposed to play, but the problem is that the PC bong that all of the boot campers were at closed at 10. So we were literally like, if the PC bong closes in the middle of a game, we have to just end the game. So I said, okay, have them move PC bong and then we'll play. So they were going to move PC bong at 10 p.m. And so I went back to sleep to nap, and then I didn't wake up. Okay, so beautiful play by Irrelevant. Lets the cannon die. And it's 16 minutes in the game. So that cannon's almost 90 gold. Not quite. I think it's 81. It's 81 gold right now. Yeah, 81 gold right now. So that cannon. That's really cool. 81 gold denied. Very nice. Do I know when I'm going to drop the roster leaks video? Imp might play. Actually, yeah. It might be me and Imp versus Genji Academy ADC and Claritz. That might be the bot lane tomorrow. Maybe. Claritz is a challenger and a bootcamping support player. The Samsung reunion, dude. Exactly. The Samsung reunion. The last time me and Imp laned bot lane together, I was playing normals as like a level 3 account or something. It's when Imp got me into League. Holy shit. Yeah, Samsung White Imp, yeah. Amazing. Fucking Griffin doesn't play Fiddle. We could have flexed Fiddle, dude. We could flex fiddlesticks. Is Juan still playing League? No, he actually just qualified for GSL. Juan's having a lot of trouble. Juan had a gamer moment. Juan turned on the sink in his bathroom because he was shaving or something. And then he forgot to turn it off when he finished shaving, and then he left his house. And the sink overflowed, and the water built up so much that it fell through 4 floors. And it damaged 4 ceilings in a row in the apartment building. So Juan has to pay like $15,000 to fix the floors for all of the apartments. That's a gamer moment, dude. It's a gamer moment. It's a gamer moment. Oh my god. Mm. All right. Don't I have renter's insurance? No. When you're... No. How's Imp doing these days? He's good. He streams on Douyu every day. He streams a shitload on Douyu. He basically plays with, like, really rich fans that pay to play with him. He gets like $100 a game. Yeah. He gets like $100 a game. Basically, like, really rich Chinese fans pay money to play with him in, like, Flex Queue. That's how he makes money nowadays, I think. Money glitch, yeah. Is he still Challenger? Yeah, he finished last season, I think, rank 16 Korea. Imp is still amazing at the game. He's still legitimately amazing. He said the reason that he doesn't play anymore is his ex-wife. That's what he told me. He said his ex-wife, killed his desire to play in China. And he doesn't want to play in Korea. And he doesn't want to go to NA because he said that Imp only cares about winning and, like, actually being good. And if he went to NA, he says that obviously that's not what he's thinking about. That's why he said he never went to NA. Amazing. Holy mother of Christ. Oh my god. Okay. I think people would hire Imp. I mean, in some capacity, if he wanted to get hired, he'd definitely be able to get into teams, yeah. Imp is so... He flames everyone, by the way. He flames everyone. There is no pro player that is safe from his flame. So, don't get me wrong. Imp is still really fucking good. He is still very high challenger Korea. He's very high challenger on Ionia. He's still really good. We were talking about MSI. Dude, the players he was flaming on, like, the top MSI teams, I literally could not believe it. I could not believe it. Oh my god. He is literally the double lift everyone else's trash meme. It's amazing. Oh my god. No, he didn't flame ruler. Oh my god. No, he actually didn't flame Faker. Which I was very surprised about. I thought Imp didn't like Faker. Because they have drama in the past. Anyways, yeah. At WTF, SK decides to pop off this time, exactly. This is like C9 versus NRG. C9 versus NRG and G2 versus SK. This is just how it is, guys. Oh, shutdown for Cog. Okay, Mickey. Shibai. How can you have drama with Faker? Imp flamed Faker's fans. Imp flamed Faker's fans and Imp flamed Faker, I think, during like that era where like Faker wasn't one of the best mids in LCK. Something like that. When is that? It's like 2019, right? It's like 2019 era. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's so many LCK fans that are female. Okay, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. Dude, I completely missed this game. I feel so bad. I really do. Okay. I have to have a call with my agency when LEC ends. But we're going to be back later. I'll probably play solo queue maybe to warm up or something. I'm not sure. And then we have scrims tonight. That's right, Wixie. Oh, Wixie! Are you here today? Okay. It'll be you and Clarice then, probably. Wixie. Maybe we don't. Okay, then we won't use Jerry. Okay. Wixie, it's gonna be you and Clarice and probably me and Imp. Amazing. In bot lane. Lovely, lovely. Jesus. Oh, man. Draco, I think the first team is just going to be everyone that's in this house. Because literally, Autumn, Tenacity, Griffin, and me all live here, and we play in the same room. So, like, yeah, I feel like that just makes the most sense for day one. Yeah. Yeah, Tenacity's here. Ugh. Why is Tenacity not streaming? He wants to be challenger first. Cog has gotten a lot of shutdowns. He is actually at 3 items. I think G2 can win. I actually think G2 can win this game. I also really like the Abyssal Mask on Broken Blade to amplify the damage for all of his teammates. I think it is so smart itemization. It's genuinely so smart. He's not dealing a lot of magic damage himself, but he's actually being the role player for his team. Super, super smart itemization. What a fucking based brain. Based blade. Exactly, yes. Do I have any contact with NA General Sniper? No, I've never talked to him. He's been in my chat a few times, I think. At what hour are the scrims? Like 5 or 6 p.m. KST, something like that. What is the Braum item? Solari. Okay. Yeah, I think Cog can win. I really think G2 can win this game, guys. I really think G2 can win. SK took a really long time stacking Drakes, so even Soul is actually still pretty far away. Azir's items, I mean, Azir's items are very strong, right? Deathcap, Leandre, Void. Sartus is very big, but Kog'Maw, I mean, all it takes is not a fast enough follow up there by Mickey. Oh, wait, Irrelevant's dead. Nice. Hans gets a kill. I think G2 is going to win. I really think G2 is going to win. Oh, okay.
이게 그 상태다. 체력 4700, 방어력 329, 마저 201인 챔피언이 저지불가, 실드, 벽 넘기는 거 있고요. 에어본 있고, 심지어 쿨타임은 1초밖에 안 되고, 마나는 15 들고, W는 심지어 변신하면 쿨 초기화에다가 패시브는 고정 피해가 들어가며, 그 다음에 방마저로 올리면 올릴수록 스킬 가속이 생기고, Q에 스킬 가속이 생기고, 스킬 속도가 빨라지고, 그 다음에 공격력 개수가 있어가지고, W가
All right, Baron for G2. This is a really, really big swing. It's a very big EXP swing and a lot of gold because all of the outer tier 2 turrets still exist. All the outer tier 2 turrets still exist. Look at Pugmaw, dude. Look at Pugmaw with this skin. It kind of looks like Neferi's husband. Do you guys think that, like, this Kog'Maw... Do you think, like, Kog'Maw, like, you know, like, if he's using this skin, do you think, like, him and Neferi get it on? And they make, like, a Void Darken? You know what I mean? Like, do you think, like, Kog'Maw, like, you know? You think Kog'Maw, like, you know? Yeah, you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. I think if Kog'Maw's using this skin, he's getting it on with Neferi. And then Neferi brings all of her pack mates and it just turns into